my viewers, welcome back to this channel. Subscribe because you will find my video very interesting. Give this video a thumbs up by tapping on the like button and feel free to be part of the conversation. It's about only black women in corporate story time, whereby this young lady is going viral for speaking the truth about working with Eben New York without knowing about you all. But this conversation has been a long time coming. Let's talk about it. Please like and share, but before then, let's get into the video.
Story time of me working for Eben New York as the only black person in corporate. Honestly, y'all, it took a lot out of me to even make this video. It's been 3 months since I left the job. They actually fired me. Wrongful termination, but we'll get to that. It has just been a very long journey. Eben New York is a very popular beauty brand. They are very known for their 24-hour edge controls. I'll put it right here. And they're also very known for their wig sprays. So hairstylists, listen up, because a lot of you, even if you're not a hairstylist, if you're a black woman, black people in general, listen up, because I was treated so horribly, guys. Like, I would go to the bathroom every day at work and cry. It was to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. That's how bad it was. So I initially seen a job posting on LinkedIn for being their content creator, basically like the face of the brand. Just do like a quick couple of videos for them. So the HR lady, the company's very small. If that, like, the company is like 80 people, whatever. So there was only one HR person at the time. And this lady, she reached out to me on LinkedIn and she was like, oh, can you come in for an interview? Like, we would love to talk to you. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go in there and she's just like telling me all about the brand. And I realized that she kept saying like, oh, we're trying to make it more diverse in the office. We're trying to make it, she just kept saying that we're just trying to make it more diverse in the office. So I'm just looking around and I'm like, well, there are a lot of Korean people. How are you guys doing this? Like, what do you mean? There's no black people at all? So she's showing me like, oh, they have like in-house beauty hairstylers, nail techs, lash techs, whatever, and they test out the products. They're not on a corporate side though. I didn't know this. I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, so I see some black women in the office, you know, cool. So I'm looking around, it's just nothing but Korean people. That still didn't bother me because I still seen like some black women in the office. So I'm like, cool, it doesn't matter. So she seen my resume and she was like, how do you feel about actually working full-time as a marketer, social media marketer? And I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I could come into the office every day and, you know, do marketing. That's what I went to school for, communications and marketing. So I took on a job, and the first day that I went to work, they was just basically showing me how to do stuff, what websites they use and things like that. So I'm already ready to make my first video, post it on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Wow. I edited this video and I posted it right before I left. And I noticed that it was going viral within 3 hours. Like, as soon as I posted it, it was going up. So I'm like, I'm getting excited because I'm like, oh, this is my first day and I'm already, you know, showing off, like doing my job. And I was looking at it all night. That's how excited I was. I kept scrolling, going on their page and looking at the video, like, I'm doing my big one. It was around 8 p.m. that I realized that the video was deleted. So I'm like, what's going on? I was reading the comments the whole time, y'all. Everyone was laughing at the video. They were saying whoever's on the marketing team needs a raise. They were saying all these positive things, right? So I go into work the next morning, and as I'm walking to my desk, I have to pass my supervisor's desk, and I have to pass another coworker that thought she was my supervisor. Let's get into that. We could get into that, but I'm gonna just keep going. So I'm going to my desk and I see that my coworker is showing my supervisor the video that I posted on TikTok from the account or whatever. So I'm like, they're just like literally looking at it or whatever, like reading the comments. And I'm like, hey, good morning. Yeah, why did the video delete? And all I know is that they looked at me and they were just like, there was too many negative comments. So then I go on the account and I, you know, look at the comments. I'm like, there's no negative comments. Someone was saying like, oh, the person that posted it, like the marketing team, I mean, the company better be black owned or something like that, because the video was funny. It was about SZA, I think it was. Like, it was about a black person doing a wig. It was some creative thing that I did. It was just all jokes, and it was good for marketing. So I was like, there's no negative comments here. And, you know, I felt some type of way because I'm like, it was my first day. I made a video go viral. Y'all needed help going viral and, you know, keep marketing these products and stuff. And I'm over here doing it on the first day, and y'all trying to figure out one little thing. Y'all see one little comment that says something, you know, a little negative to y'all, and y'all want to delete it. That's not how this works. Like, yeah, we got to get some tough skin around here if y'all want to keep going up in this company. So I let that slide. But ever since that day, I realized, like, everyone was just in competition with me. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just like they were no longer trying to teach me anything. They were no longer First of all, I realized, let me just backtrack. Ever since that day, they had started speaking Korean the whole time in the office, in the marketing room. Korean. I had no conversation with them. They would speak to me whenever they told me to just do something. They would have meetings in full-blown Korean. Even the CEO would come in and speak in Korean. And nobody thought to even, you know, like, look and be like, oh, let's just speak in English for now. You know, we do have a black lady here that's just not Korean, and she doesn't know anything that we're saying. So I just started feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, there's no way that, you know, everybody was speaking English in the beginning, the first day that I was there, you know, being very nice. And now all of a sudden, everyone's just speaking Korean the whole time, giggling, looking at me, laughing about things. And I have no idea what any of them are saying. So,
okay, Black America, do we really stand on business? Because I'm going to need y'all to really stand on business behind this one. So this beautiful woman was hired in the marketing department of the famous company Eben. Y'all heard of Eben Edge Control, Eben Lace Glue, all of that. Yeah, she was hired to work in their marketing department, and she was the only black woman to work at the headquarters. She said when she got hired, they just kept talking about diversity this, diversity that. When she got to that office, y'all, it was all Korean people who worked there. But, you know, she didn't let that bother her, but she got right to work. Her first day in the office, she produced a viral TikTok video. She produced the ad for Eben, and it went viral instantly. She said when she came into work the next day, she realized that the video had been taken down. The staff took the video down because they said it had negative comments, but there were no negative comments on the video. It went viral. It was some trend that had to do with SZA. So, chat, I'm gonna need y'all to look that video up for me and let me know if y'all can find it. But anyway, she said from there on out, it just all went downhill. Like, everybody in the office was in instant competition with her. Like, how dare she come in here on her first week and already start producing viral content? She said everybody turned on her after that. Like, the people who were her coworkers who used to be nice and friendly at first, they weren't speaking to her no more. When she started coming to the office, nobody was speaking in English anymore. Everybody was speaking in Korean. The staff just treated her terrible, y'all. And y'all already know she went to HR. What happens when you go to HR? HR does nothing.
That is document everything. I don't care how big, how small you think it is. Write it down, write the date. Make sure you're documenting it for yourself, and also make sure you document it with HR, even if they are not helpful. If they aren't helpful, that's actually going to help you in the long run, because we're going to use that against them. Depending on the level of hostility taking place in the situation, in the work environment, sometimes you feel more comfortable emailing it to yourself or emailing it to a supervisor or whoever, but make sure you're documenting. One of the big parts of documenting, though, that many people forget is that you can actually record some of these situations. Most likely when these people start acting out, honey, they get comfortable and they're going to do it again, and with that, you're going to use it against them. What I'm going to need for you to do is know the consent laws in your state for taping phone calls, because that's exactly what you're going to have to do. You're going to tape those phone calls, and you're going to tape those conversations. For example, Evan, New York is in New Jersey, but I believe they also have a New York location. With that, New Jersey and New York are both one-party consent states. What that means is that if you are a part of that conversation, you can record that conversation without the other party giving their consent. The other party being the party that you are in the conversation with. Therefore, hit that record button and get those people on tape. That you may say, how can I catch this on tape? I don't know when people are going to act out. Honey, be on ready. Stay on ready, because that's what I had to do. If you're getting pulled into a meeting, don't go immediately. You don't have to do anything immediately. One of the things that I like to do is I actually need 5 minutes. I need 10 minutes to gather myself. I actually have to go to the restroom right there. With that, go to your desk, go to the bathroom, hit that record button on your phone. Then you go into that meeting knowing that you have that backup in the event they put their foot in their mouth, and 9 times out of 10, they always will. Another thing you can do to protect yourself is you can also record the meetings with your coworkers, i.e. people that see what's going on, but they don't necessarily feel comfortable saying what's happening. All you need for them to do is confirm what you know is going on, and with that, you have another piece of evidence to add to your case, because at this point, that's what you're building. These situations, I can tell you firsthand, can be very stressful, and they definitely can take a toll on your emotional well-being. I can tell you that firsthand because, again, I've been there. With that, what you're going to do is make sure you're speaking to a professional and documenting it there also. Everyone's not going to agree with this, but most of the times, especially with these big companies, where you hit them back is in their pockets. That's the only time that people learn lessons. What I'm also going to need for you to do as well is not to quit. They want you to quit. That's why they're acting an ass. They also want you to leave without them having to pay you or give you unemployment, any sort of severance or anything like that. With that, if you can stay the course, stay, let them fire you, because again, if it's a wrongful termination situation, you're going to use that against them and you're going to use that to get paid. If the situation is extremely hostile and volatile, I suggest that you speak to a workplace and employment attorney. Now, this is going to differ from state to state, and I'm in New York, so I can speak to New York, but you do have people who will take the case pro bono if they see something there where some kind of funds will be paid back from the company. Make sure that you and the attorney are the right fit, and you also want to have somebody that is willing to fight. And I'm not talking about a cute little dynasty cat fight. I'm talking about a good old dirty down fight if they have to. Make sure you find somebody that is willing to fight for your cause. This other tip is something that I've spoken on before, but you're also going to want to know that employee handbook from start to finish. 9 times out of 10, again, these people are fools. They are idiots. And whatever rule is in that book is something that they are actively breaking. Harassment, all of that, that's usually against your code of conduct. With that, if that is what's happening, refer back to that handbook, let them know what rule or policy they're breaking, and document that. Put that in email. For the girl that was at Eben, they're trying to say that there were all kinds of KPIs, all kinds of warnings that they gave her that she wasn't aware of. When you put something like that out there, you actually have to back it up and justify. Also, let me say this as well. HR sometimes will try to get you caught in a lie or caught in a situation. If they give you any sort of corrective action plan and you don't agree with what is in that corrective action plan, you are not obliged to sign anything. Do not sign any sort of 30, 60, 90. They can give it to you, but you don't agree with what is in there. Do not sign that documentation, because essentially you are agreeing to what they are saying and what they are outlining. Sorry for what happened to that girl, but trust and believe, she seemed to have it documented pretty well, and with that, they're going to have to pay for their actions in more ways than one. I'm telling you from experience, get your coin and get them on tape.
Y'all have been tagging me in this girl's story about her experiences as a black girly. So I listened to the whole thing. I even took notes, honey. So I'm going to tell y'all my thoughts as completely independent HR. And for those of y'all who don't know, I'm Sierra, the founder and CEO of Cagebird HR. We provide employees access to independent HR support nationwide. First and foremost, I coined this term called the hire to hostile pipeline. And the hire to hostile pipeline is a modern adaptation of Pet to Threat. And basically it talks about how when black and brown people start jobs, they are told that they're supported, it's super welcoming, right up until they start performing and outperforming everybody else around them. Then people get jealous, and a work environment that is so hostile is created for the purpose of pushing the person out and getting them to quit. And that is unfortunately exactly what has happened to my good sis. Now, there are a lot of things that I think she did right. She went to HR. I don't know what she said. I don't know if it was in writing, but she did at least go to HR. She went to management. She voiced her concerns. And I think all of those things were great. Even took mental health leave of absence, which, yes, take the time that you need to process and get away from this toxic work environment. Like I said, I don't know what she said to HR. Hopefully it was in writing, but here's what I would have said. First of all, I would accuse them of discrimination, okay? Discrimination via unreasonable and heightened expectations. She was saying that, in her Asana, she had to be super, super explicit in ways that other people did not have to be. They was pressing her real hard about a $14 expense and a receipt, right? Which is fine and normal, but usually there's a time frame, 7 business days or whatever you have to get that stuff in. So if they were, pressing her before that time, then that would be a heightened unreasonable expectation that they're not subjecting other people to. And then the hotel in the ghetto. Be for real. Why is it that I'm the only one that has to stay in the raggedy hotel? Heightened unreasonable expectation. I also wouldn't have been on their head top about retaliating against her. It was clear that once she went to HR, the things that they were doing to isolate her and separate her and treat her different, it was clear. Retaliation continued when she went to the CEO. Then I would have accused them of microaggressing and creating a hostile work environment that no reasonable person would want to stay employed at. Asking me, about my grandmas, the only other African Americans in the office. What is that? Snapping in my face and yelling. Insane. So those are the key things that I would have kept going to HR about in writing. I also would have tried to get that coworker who said, I don't know why they're treating you so racist. I would try to get her to say that in writing. Because now now I have proof that everybody knows I am being treated dissimilarly. And I'm the only black person up in here. One thing I would have recommended that she done differently, instead of waiting for her to fire you, and I know that she probably didn't know that this is where it was going because she was clearly saying I just wanted to change, but if she would have called me, I'd be like, okay girl, they're going to fire you at some point and we need to figure out how we can get you some money, some severance, something before that happens. So I would have been super persistent about continuing to go to HR, damn near nonstop. Every time something happened, I would have wrote it down to HR so that when the time came, when we decided that it was just too much, we would have just said, look, it's clear that y'all are discriminating against me, you're retaliating against me. This is a hostile work environment. What are my options? And then try to get some severance. Now that she's off payroll, it's going to be a little bit harder. She does still have some options. I have no idea what state she in, how old she is. I don't know any of the details, but she could always get a lawyer after the fact, go to the EEOC, etc. But I tried to impress upon y'all that once you're off payroll, everything becomes exponentially harder and more expensive. So we want to try to influence the outcome while you're still on payroll. But all in all, that story was crazy as hell. And I'm sorry, sis, that if you see this, I'm so sorry that she went through this. But next time, call us, Cagebird HR, book an appointment so we can help you understand where this is going before it actually gets there.
Seriously, lovelies, this Asian store, or call them Black American store, has been doing too much. Not even quite long. We posted a video here reacting to a video that actually went viral about this company, Euphoria, that actually decided to produce a black face paint a replacement of foundation, because they saw that black people were actually clamoring about a black beauty standard of a thing, and they decided that, okay, since you guys often complain a lot, I am just gonna put up this for you guys, and just get it yourself. Not even quite long that we are reacting to the video, and now this. How could you actually put up a vacancy for actually a marketing strategist who happens to be a black person, and this person applied, and you employed this person, and you were so impressed for the first time because of the way she proved, and had about 1 to 2 million views in just a day of her job. Then because you saw that you received just one bad comment and all of that,
you think that the comment is something that is not suitable, but forgetting the fact that this is social media. And in social media, you are obligated to actually, you know, receive both positive and negative, you know, comment. And it all depends on the kind of comments. It's not even something that's, you know, negative. The only case is the case where they talked about, I hope this is owned by a black brand. So because of that, they had an issue with and decided to delete a video that is going viral. Like, how could you actually do that? Someone's, you know, decided to do a job for the first time and she's giving you a profitable one, then you are getting, I don't know if should I call this a jealousy, or should I call this, what is actually wrong with these people? And before you know it, you are relieving her of her job. But before then, the company that was supposedly, you know, English startup company, that you guys were speaking English all of a sudden because you saw there is a black woman in your midst, you decided to keep on speaking your other language, you know, making her the center of mockery. Like, this just has to stop in the black community. This is just something that is not acceptable. When are we all gonna learn? When are we all, you know, going to just respect ourselves and try as much as we can to actually, you know, build up our own brand? The more we want to like try to associate ourselves with it, the more they disrespect us. Not quite long, someone is still using this euphoria thing to become as a something of a mockery to black community. Like, seriously, lovelies, enough of these Asian people trying to shape black people into believing that we are actually the problem, but you people are just the problems. Like, seriously, lovelies, when I saw this video and her, you know, stories, I was not impressed at all. This is a woman that was just on her own and she decided that, okay, she has seen a job opening, let me just use the opportunity to get this. But all she got was humiliation, and after that she was actually relieved of her job. And this is she coming out here to even speak. It's a kind of, you know, I give her kudos for that, because a lot of people been going through this kind of thing, but they cannot even speak up. Seriously, lovelies. Anyways, lovelies, I'm just gonna leave my other colleague to, you know, continue with what she think or thoughts in this video, and she will just end it up there.
Okay guys, it's Eben, New York. Some people may ask, a beauty supply store that's market supply to black people bearing black Korans. When you go to the TikTok, you would think that he was a black owned beauty supply store. So this young lady said that she was the only black woman in the office, everyone else was Korean. This is not new. Yeah, you can find similar incident like happening in a whole near show. Any local beauty supply store, like, they always want to be their customers but treat us so poorly like slaves. This has been happening for years, but we need to try and stop shopping at the beauty supply store because they don't like us. I mean black people. Let the black people stop pouring your money on people who couldn't afford to you around them. Yeah, they simply take and move on. They don't need us. I mean black people. That is neither here or there. Yeah, they take the black people as low class people, but you know what? They could learn you really need us, the black people, because we patronize you, we share a business contract with you, and so on. And a lot of black people do a contract with you, the Pankolo. But despite that, you Pankolo always treat us as slave and low class people. But why? Why? This is actually ridiculous. It's very bad. However, the pan color people are so racist towards black people. This is unfair. Now, I'm referring to the HR of that company that you fire her. But why? Why so sudden? Is it because of the videos she made on TikTok or what? What's really the problem? I think the rate of racism towards black is so high, which we need to stop it. Yeah, the pan color people has to stop being racist towards the black. To me, I think the black people, if such thing happen, you should try and know their policies, company pillars, code of conduct, and use it against them. you actually have to back it up and justify. They need to show documents, like document proof of correction actions plan and prove you were made aware of it. Because when you can get the document about the company you are being fired on, they will pay for actions. Yeah, they have to pay for their actions, and that is it. Okay guys, if you have watched up to this extent, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave your thoughts on the comment section of what you think on this video. Also, we do not support any forms of harassment or whatever. The video are for entertainment and educational purposes, so please subscribe to this channel, like and share. I will see you when I upload my next one.